Hey guys, what's up? It's Jekyll Turner. Today I am feeling inspired to share the knowledge that I have learned in my experience of college. I think it's great to start off by saying who I am. So, I'm Jet. A lot of people in Rockford, Illinois know me. Otherwise, a few people know me. I'm a environmental science major at the University of Colorado, Denver. In college, a student. I am making this YouTube video because I make YouTube videos. And tonight, the reason why I'm making this video is to share what I have used as tools to finish college and get through stressful times, which these lessons can be applied to any situation in life. Start off, number one, friendship. So the funny thing about college is that I learned it's all about making friends. So guys, college is all about making friends. Okay, because to get the answers to the tests, you need to know Regina. Okay? Regina, the one who she kind of catches your attention. Like she's like talking to a bunch of smart people. Also, looks like she wears some Vans, so she looks chill. Low key, she's valedictorian. Yeah, you gotta be nice to her and just hang out wherever she is. And if she's at that cafe, you go hang out at that cafe and you say, "Oh, hi, what's her name? What you do right here? I see you in class. I see you for hey." There you go. Lesson number 2. Choose your drugs wisely. Very wisely. I come from the genetic background that's not desirable for non-addict tendencies. It is very viable for addictive tendencies to be passed down in my family. So it was very important for me to be very aware of that going into college, because a lot of college is about consumption of illicit drugs, legal and also illegal. There's a lot of extra activities that go along with that kind of decipher how that situation goes for you. But it's really important to pick a good, always make good decisions. Always be able, this is so important, always be able to grab your heart and your belly. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and say, do I really want these drugs? And have I ever done this drug before? Have I ever heard of someone doing this drug and undesirable outcomes came into fruition? Just take a second to do some inventory. Okay, just always take that second. And that's all I feel like I can say, is because I think it's a very sensitive topic. So I feel like that's the perfect thing to say, is just take a second to check in with yourself, because that's going to be very important in college. Okay, number 3, physical well-being. So throughout college, I had this goal when I was younger. I said, by the time I turn 18, I'm gonna have abs. I was like, y'all, I can be playing now. Okay, right? I'm in Rockford, Illinois. I'm in no one is gay here. I'm not getting none. I'm basically just watching my Sex in the City and just really talking up a storm, twerking everywhere. So, what did I just say? Oh yeah, so abs. So by the time I got to be 18, I was like, I've been telling myself I'm gonna get abs, so I'm gonna get abs now. So basically, I got way too obsessed with exercise, but it was a tool. It's always been a tool. And so then I got to the point where I was listening to recovery podcasts, and I started like talking to a therapist and a nutritionist, and really took inventory on how much exercise I was doing. Basically, I was working like out sometimes 3 hours a day or more, and would come home to the lunch hall where I had really no friends to hang out with except for friends that I made in the lunch hall, because when you have an eating disorder, you kind of hang out in the lunch hall for extended periods at some certain times. And so that's where I was, and I was seeing red. I ran out and threw up, and it really changed my perspective. And I went home and just started eating like a bunch of cosmic brownies. And thank you to the Mind Body Musings podcast by Maddie Moon. Once again, Mind Body Musings podcast by Maddie Moon, or Madeline Moon, was amazing. So just physical health, just realize that you have to take it. You gotta roll with it. And you know what? Have compassion for yourself along the way. And sometimes that means that you can have Ben and Jerry's every night for a whole week. And that's okay. Okay, number 4. Living arrangements. Yes. Okay. So here's what I really have to say about college and like living situations, which I think basically goes hand in hand with whether or not you're single. Because if you're in college and you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, you are at their house, you live there. Their roommates either love you or hate you, or thank God they don't have any, and that's low-key your new crib. So basically, like, if you're single, be somewhere that you can socialize and be with a lot of people, because there were times where the only hug I got was with someone from the like cafeteria, and I was on the floor, like was calling the suicide hotline, which I can post right here, that number. And I was just like calling off for help. I was on the floor talking to my life coach. I booked a flight to Illinois the next morning, because that's my self-care routine, is just surrounding myself with love. So it's really important to be able to socialize. But, if you meet someone, you're basically going to just drop your, everything and go moving with them. Like, I got accepted to Boulder, but there was the boyfriend who, was the ex, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go from towards the mountains, towards opposite side of the mountains, in the dry ass fields out by the airport. But you know what? That's going to be like invest in that area, because it's going to come up in Denver. But okay, so basically living arrangements, basically stay young and hot and frisky for as long as you can. Stay single and fun and mingle. And then when you've had enough of that, maybe take a break to do like some resetting, and then just open yourself. Be ready for a partner when you are ready. Just really make sure you have all of the sex before. Just have as much sex as you can. Just get out of the way, and you'll never look back and be like, I should have done more. So just do it all. Go crazy, okay? Wear everything that's protective. Okay. Number 5, sexual health. Woo. Okay, first of all, just remember, use a lot of lubrication, because you want to keep sensitivity down there. This is the sex ed class you never got. You got to keep it nice for yourself. And you know what? Every now and then you need to treat yourself, and you need to pretend like it's an intimate date with yourself. And whatever you would do on a date normally, you have to do with yourself, and you have to go take yourself and do that. So that's basically like the trying to be a partner route. But like the single route is like, okay, if you don't want to get HIV, there's this thing called PrEP. I was on it for a while because I could not keep my ass single because I got daddy issues. So I got with the guy. I jumped on that boat real quick. And okay, so I was on that because there are so many times where I had to wait for the test results, because there are things you do in the moment. Like I would have intercourse without protection, and it was this guy from Grindr, and I didn't know him, and he was just talking about his ex-boyfriend just was with all these go-go boys, and I didn't use protection, and I was like, so I basically just slept with all of the go-go dancers in Denver without fucking protection. Mommy? So, yeah, that was like really big. So just be really safe. Always use protection. Carry it with you. You know what? You should always like get a new one. But if you keep one in your wallet and it gets a little warm, you know what? At least you have one. Do whatever you can. I wish I would have just had one. Even if it was accidentally broken, I would have actually had something instead. So just keep that in your back pocket. And really, that's a real thing. Really, for real, do that. Okay, sexual health. Let's do number 6. Okay, financial health. Cool. So, what I'm honestly going to say is there are so many things in college that if I would have bought what I wanted right away and not just said, oh, I want to save my money, I would have been invested, so I would have had to put in the payments to make things come true, like such as my Invisalign. I always really wanted Invisalign, and I always pushed it off because it sounded so expensive, and I was like, fuck, like, damn it, Jet, you know what, you low-key had, I've been up to like $5,000 before. I think I have. I can't really remember. No, I think just like $2,000. I was like, girl, you had $2,000 like you always had $2,000 on you somehow. Not no more. That's a different life though. For real though, guys. That's not my life no more. I am not sorry that something happened. But seriously though, like monetary health, I should have just bought these braces forever ago, been done with it, been on to the next new thing, because what you want, you're going to get. If you ask for it, you're going to get it. So you might as well spend the money on it now rather than like playing around and like spending money on stuff that you wouldn't be able to afford if you would have gotten what you wanted, and then you would just be able to have that extra money to do the next thing that you're just going to do right off the bat, and then your life is like full of stuff that you just want to do just because you do it. And like I wish I wouldn't have like spent so much money on like random ass like concerts, or like, you know what, actually you can't ever regret anything. Okay, number 7. Let's do number 7. Okay, studying. I honestly recommend fucking around at community college. I will say I feel like I got a really good exposure to a lot of diversity at the community college that I would not have otherwise received at the university, where it is more like kids my age, and it is more of I think like the socioeconomic, there's like a gap there. There's a gap, and it's nice to experience the part of the gap that I think reflects like more. It's just like not as if I wouldn't be there, I wouldn't get that experience. So it is really a really immersive experience. So I really recommend, honestly, community college. You save a lot of money, and I think you really get inspired. Like, hey, if shit gets that fucked up, I think I could easily become a community college teacher, and you can low-key make that fun. And like honestly, like I just got to do a bunch of random ass shit and say a bunch of random ass shit and be fucking weird, never see anybody again. Because guess what, once you go to university and you transfer, that changes. Everybody in your class, you're going to see them like until you graduate, and you're going to be out there giving presentations. And if you bomb one time, people will remember. There will be people there who saw you give that presentation that you bombed. So just because you acting cool now, and just because you're playing like you're not like a stripper anymore, just unlike the fact that, you know, your friend let everybody conveniently know that during a project. So oh, I officially forgot it. I kept forgetting and then be able to come back. I didn't get that one back. Wait, hold up. Shoot, hold on. I was a stripper. Yeah, that changes. So basically, like studying, I really recommend community college. Once you go to university, be ready to keep it real, but make sure you don't go to community college too long, because they make you get a certain amount of hours at the university. So you might end up having like an extra semester if you take too many classes at community college. So get that checked out. But I will say it's nice getting a degree and like halfway through and being like, hey, if I quit right now, at least I'd have something. Whereas these university kids, if they quit, I'm not sure what they would have. So that's a really great perspective about it. But basically, like, just really like get to know people at school. Really, I'd say just most importantly, like hang out with classmates and actual classmates, not just like one classmate and you guys hang out with a random posse of random ass kids. I want you to hang out with your classmates, talk to them, get in study groups, find out what students are doing, where they're going. Just somehow put yourself there, even if it's just like randomly walking in the room to literally use like the bathroom or something. You put yourself there just like every other time in like class and everything. Even if you're like 40 minutes late, even if you didn't do the project, you haven't showed up, and you send a message to the teacher saying you didn't appreciate something and you feel a little awkward, you show up into that class, even if you just smoked a fucking, even if you just, you know what, even if they say, I was about to go to class, but then I got high. No. If you get high before class, you better show the fuck up to class. And if you feel like you're going to cry, you just rub that bottom of the desk real hard. So basically, just show up in college. Just do it. You will be glad about it. You will be glad about it. At least one point in your life, you will get all the satisfaction of all the work that you've done for college. That's going to come back to you no matter what. Build those social relationships. Number 8. You know what? Let's just go to 9. Number 9. Let me see on this one. I will say maintaining the soul in college. So I was a child and I was on Oprah. My mom went to rehab on Oprah. I was crying on Oprah. And I've been through a bunch of different homes with a bunch of different guys trying to be my dad. And I've really like seen a lot of mental health shit, a lot of addiction shit. Yeah, been in some like seen domestic violence. I experienced a lot as a child. We were in a small apartment with my mom and her boyfriend, and it was like he was domestically abusive, and it was a very hostile environment to live in as a little kid. So I'll say staying spiritual has like been, you have to do things like when shit gets that crazy, you have to find sanity in the world no matter what. So keeping the soul alive, for me, I think it really means being smart enough with yourself to have a few things that really you're connected with and you know that are always in your repertoire of like things that will bring you back to your soul. Like I have 5 movies that when I feel lost, if I watch them, I know I go back home. And I feel connected. And I think that's a really, really dope thing. So I think it's really good to like for me, like I do yoga. Like I'm very structured kind of in a way. Like I do a lot of walking. You just have to, if you know something makes you feel better, do it. There's no other time to do it than right now. So that's why we're going to come to number 10. You gotta be a boss ass witch. You need to use your magic powers to show up for you every day. To give yourself the space to bloom. To find out what it means to be your own friend. And say, hi little Jetty. You're so cute. Because the little child in you, it will cycle into your adulthood, and you will see that little child. And it is important, as my friend Miss M.I. told me when we were tripping and I was having an emotional spurt because of my eating disorder and the anger and the mean voice in my head. And I was throwing couch pillows around. And I went up to Malia's room and we laid there kind of a little flirtatiously. And you could say I kissed a girl in college. That's what college is for, babies. But she told me that when you have emotions, you have to think of them like a what do they call it? It's like a whatever. It's like a big bed, and there are a bunch of crying babies. And if like one comes up to you, you have to look at it. You have to deal with that little crying baby. So basically, the little baby crying in you about, let's say for me, it was my. Oh, shit. Let's just say for me, what really pissed me off was that my dad would like inspect me physically and like make me like lift up my shirt and show him my body as like check-ins on my weight. And it was very, it was very invasive. And that comes up for me like every day. So that's why I have to like do stuff like create some videos and go through some lists and have a repertoire of what I can do to be the best version of myself. Because yes, I've had a bad past, but now I'm an adult. Yes, bad things happened to me when I was a child that were out of my control. Now I'm an adult and I'm completely in control of my life. And so are you. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Thank you for always being there for yourself, others, and your favorite pet or your neighbor's pet. Namaste.